All right. Are we? I think we're live. Y'all gotta just help me, cause like, I think I am. Okay, no, I definitely am. Woo. All right. Hi everybody. I'm RetroZX0, and for my blog, I'm going to be running a first-person shooter that came out relatively recently, Titanfall 2. Titanfall 2 is an amazing run, personally for me. It's not only my first, but it also introduced me into like the community of speedrunning. So we start off in the gauntlet. Whew. And time doesn't start until I gain control. So that means when I exit this load screen, I will start the timer. Good luck, have fun, friend. Thank you. Thank you, Boulder. Titanfall 2 has a pretty good story. It's a relatively short story, but it's pretty good. Alright, and let's see. Echo. Alright. Starting 3, 2, 1, go. And we're off. So the main story of Titanfall 2 is that you are a rifleman, just a grunt in the frontier working for the militia. The militia is a group of rebels that are trying to overtake this corrupt big company and fighting against evil across the world where it was originally their home. Yes, they look fine. Oh, Boulder, if you want to do the thing in the Titanfall Discord, the speedrun Discord, or Echo. Oh, and I took care of the dashboard changes. Thanks, Boulder. So this is a very it's a very movement heavy speedrun, where other games it would be like menu optimizations or some other. Oh, change that real quick. So instead of any of like those things like pixel perfect frame frame input jumps, we have advanced movement. You're going to be seeing me doing a lot of this. That is called slide hopping. Oh, whoop. So this will essentially give our character a speed boost. All right, there we go. And we'll carry our momentum. Oh, I need to connect grenades. It'll carry our momentum as we move through the air. When we're moving through the air, we're faster than we are running. So that's why we want to carry our momentum whenever we do have to hit the ground. Ooh. You're going to be seeing me like throw grenades at myself. Because we're in a gauntlet, it's technically a simulation. We don't take damage and we can't die. And I totally just failed that. Oof. You can't normally do that in further levels, because, you know, you die. Alright. And this is Captain Lasamosta. Oh! Darn. That's really rough. So sometimes we'll have dialogue options that will advance the story, or so you have to like choose the right dialogue options to speed up the things, like the story where some things are shorter. Sometimes you don't respond at all because not responding is actually faster. And I accidentally chose the wrong one, so I had to come back on. Kind of wish Titanfall 2 was on Steam. Unfortunately, it's not. It's only on Origin because of yeah.
First Titan chassis we designed ourselves. One we didn't have to steal from the IMC. Who the hand rifle all human.
Guys, that's where you sell it? They kind of do look like that, don't they? It means he gets ignored a lot. Me too. And my later Titan, FS, 1041. I remembered it.
Ready up. Easy, Cole. Just left VR. He needs a minute to decompress. He'll be ready to go. Trust me. Yes, sir.
Remember Captain Cole. We'll see him later. Well, right now we're going to be dropping onto a rogue planet controlled by the IMC.
Anderson, son of a bitch, see you down there. We're going to see a new planet today. Maybe even die on it.
One of the guys clipping 3.
See you down there, rifleman.
Your mech.
Good luck. Get your ass out of the simple.
This isn't my mech. This is just my. This is just trading pod. Oh, some guys in the background maybe they didn't really focus on it. All right, and I do have an auto time stopper. The so the timer will pause whenever we don't have any actual time for input. Ran a bit too close to the training mech. It's just like a pod thing, just like one of those like sauna pods you go into like when you're it's sad. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be dope to have one though. All right, now we get fun cutscenes by 30% or so. All right. Okay, how does that? Let's see. How does that sound? Better? Alright, thank you. Meet the guy. Jack Cooper. Yeah, this game can get pretty loud. So, while we were in the simulation training, we had all the movements available to us. We had double jumps, we had, wall running, but now this is reality. So, and since we're just a rifleman, we have none of that. We're just, running and jumping. John video game, brother of Gordon Freeman. His name is Jack Cooper. SRS, militia rifleman. But since the game movement is actually still based on source, we can still actually do slide hops when we have our better momentum in the air. I'm really to Roman. Alright. Hey, Lastimosa.
Cooper, you're in bad shape. Hold on. This might knock you out.
Oh, yeah. I should mention, you probably realized Titans are a thing. Giant mechs that people call pilots hop into and fight in. And, I pretty much love that. Based on source flying boxes. We can't pick up boxes, unfortunately, so no flying boxes. He's just dead. The war hero Lastimosa. They're taken up by 2 Titans. That was a fast KO, yeah. Meet some of your bosses. There's Richter. Totally not Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's Sloan in the background. There's Ash coming up. Also, I still have no idea what he just cut off there. 18 hours until the Ark is sealed and ready for delivery. Yeah, it's been a while since anybody's heard 18 hours, huh? Dog tags, I assume, probably. Oh, you suck, bastard. Got a job to do, eh? We got corpses. We don't clean them up. Let's go. Yeah, this kind of gets ingrained in your head over time. And we're waking up to something. Wild dogs. Who's in your cup? It's gotta eat us. Oh no. We're saved. Thank you, Lasamosa. Unskippable, you get good just the story. Yeah. Most cutscenes are unskippable in the beginning. Hello. I'm being in terrible shape. Yeah. He said it will be good in a few hours. Yeah. Press F to pay respects. Press E to comfort Lasamosa. New pilot. Bravo. And go 7274.
Trooper,
Take my Titan. Use my helmet and my jump kit. This is a real thing. Take care of him. And yeah, he just died within the first 10 minutes of the game coming up. The like super awesome Lasamosa, who's trained us, who's fought on multiple planets, on multiple frontiers, and multiple battles, just died. And he chooses a rifleman that he's known to train like once. Who's like, take my stuff. You have to do this. Yeah. So now we get his helmet, so we get an actual HUD. And then we also have the jump kit, which allows us to wall run. So yeah, slide hops, of course. Better than nothing, yeah. Now, due to calibration, as the game wants to put it, we actually don't have our double jumps yet. So we still have to rely on single jumps. As I'm talking about not having double jumps, I attempted a double jump. Alright. Small step back, let's go. There's actually a decent bit of lore and like stuff in this game to explain. So I may not be able to explain it all. Some things may be confusing. But if you do have any questions, just feel free to ask. Ah! Death River! Death River! Oh boy. I try to play it safe there. Cause there are some plants around it that you wouldn't guess are solid, but they're solid. And yeah. If you know anything about Source games, geometry is very key in running. First time, every time. First time, first try. Double jumps received. We don't lose any time though, we just reload. There are drones. 4 drones. We'll go up this way. So just like here. And if it's Source, then they heavily modified. Yeah, it's based on Source. It's very heavily modified. So very few things actually do come over from like, so you like the console command inputs that you would normally have. We don't even have a console. The only things we do have are like custom things such as hold up, I need to focus for a sec. There we go. So yeah, we can speed up the game. We have quick saves that That's only thanks to custom CFG files that we have to input commands into Origin for.
Power at 2/3. Data core reinitialized.
And then I will be running this strat.
Adjusting focus. Are you
Oh.
alright, pilot?
Alright, first try. Whew. And now we get to talk to BT.
My systems are rebooted.
But we're not gonna talk to him because there's literally no point to.
Remain here.
So sorry, BT. We're not gonna be talking to him a lot. In fact, I can only think of very few situations that we do talk to him, and those do save time.
Until I am mobile, I will assist you through your helmet radio when possible.
So movement wise,
My mapping
when we're wall running, you might see me just touch the wall very briefly, like I just did there. That's called a wall kick. If you do them successfully,
are located in hostile territory.
you will actually give yourself a boost in speed as you're kicking off the wall, and just transfer it over to more movement in the air. There's also air strafing, of course. That's why I move back and forth most of the time. Let's see. I'm gonna go invisible because there's a lot of guys here. I can take grenades like a champ. The mechs are pretty good. Like, they can. The only thing, like in the intro, was Titans are the only things that can take down a Titan are, in like overwhelming force or an equal one, and that's a pretty good way to put it. So only a Titan can defeat a Titan. I need to just spam here because if we get a double jump, whoo, that actually does beat us up a little bit. Got the second battery. Beetle Metal Gear is another Metal Gear, basically. Actually, no, you're pretty accurate there. Strafing in the air in certain directions will give you more speed, so I'll be doing that a lot.
Compromised.
Where you at?
Those drones are IMC scouts.
Ooh.
Enemy reinforcements.
When do we fight Liquid? I'm trying to think of what chapter it is.
Final battery. Power at full capacity.
Okay, so
Pilot, we must
crap, who's
establish
Liquid? I forget.
in order to proceed.
But the closest we have to like Psycho Mantis, because is this person named Ash, and if I do a skip correctly, we totally skip Ash. It's called Ash skip, so which makes me sad I've already had that experience. But yeah, it's not the best game like interface, but it does allow us to play
Protocol
Titanfall.
1.
Link to pilot.
Establishing neural link.
BT just scanned our brain.
Link established. Rifleman Jack Cooper, you are now confirmed as acting pilot of BT.
That's the one who just puts you in a training area or whatever. Yeah.
Protocol 2.
Uphold the mission.
Our
Orders are to resume Special Operation 217. Rendezvous with Richard Anderson. Arrest.
I'm detecting incoming enemy forces.
Protocol 3.
Protect
The pilot.
Reinitializing critical
Oh.
systems.
Hello.
Vortex shield online. The vortex shield catches incoming rounds and missiles. Release the button to launch.
They got superpowers.
Back of the enemy.
Heck off. And we'll get our missiles.
Pilot, the Acolyte pod is online. This shoulder-mounted rocket pod will lock onto multiple enemy targets. The longer you hold down the button, the more locks you will achieve.
There we go.
Neuralink complete.
Ah, I missed.
Primary weapon control and motion link re-established.
And we get to move. And here's our first fight as a Titan. By the way, in story lore-wise, this guy... Oh. story lore-wise, this guy has never controlled a Titan in his life before.
We'll have to fight our way to safety. Get ready.
I still have my 360, didn't hate it. It's a pretty good, it's like a really good game. And like, the multiplayer is super fun. Gunplay is amazing.
Fighter spotted, chassis number BT-727. Taking fire. Not bad fighting. Not bad.
Why are you running that way? Why does gun detach from his hand?
Well done, pilot. Our combat effectiveness.
He's got rookie ass. Yeah.
Pilot, I
So,
detect more IMC
this
sound
guy
signals
just
on the
defeated
way.
a Titan by himself without having to control a Titan in his life before.
Rendezvous
And
with
like,
Major
as far as we know, that's
Until
like
then, you and I are on our
super
own.
awesome.
Marking your HUD. We must move quickly.
And that is the second mission, BT-7274. Now we're going on to a love-hate level, Lund Rust. So, our after we've linked up with BT, now we have to go meet Captain Anderson and resume Special Op 217, I believe.
Will continue to search for us.
We don't actually know what it was beforehand because they don't tell us that stuff as a rifleman.
60 clicks from our current location. We will have to improvise and
And I'm
adapt.
going to boost and crouch onto that tree so we slide and carry momentum.
This is Wallbound 32. We're taking heavy casualties down here.
And if we boost as a Titan off of ledges, our momentum is maintained. So, like dashing while in like into the air is actually a pretty good idea. Tone slide. There we go. When you can slide on entities and it will act as like there's no friction at all. Thank you for that boost. Wow, this is going extremely well.
Pilot, this light weapon is advanced
And we're going to switch to tone really quick.
advantage.
And even though this is a very movement based game, there is a little bit of menuing going on.
Pilot, with the tone loadout, we can lock on them and target them with tracking.
So what I tried to do right there is, is that if you hold space while you're ejecting at the right moment, you will actually, instead of ejecting like I did just straight out, you will actually boost super high up. And that, of course, because we need to get up here, a really quick time save. Because usually you would have to go around this entire area to drop down here.
Pilot, the safety airlock has sealed you in the control room. You must find another way out. We have no choice but to split up. Sonar pulse online.
I've never heard him say that.
Listen up.
In like my entire time playing Titanfall, I've never heard him say that.
Tracking your location. Recommend you see an exit.
Thank you, BT. Wow. And then shotgun.
Pilot, activating sonar.
And so I haven't kept up with newer strats that have been deployed in this game.
The hostile type.
There's one super fast route where instead of going on this side, because in the main campaign you would just run on the opposite side of the canal that I'm running on now. And then earlier in Titanfall speedrun history, we went the path I just made. But people have actually found out that there's an optimal route going the opposite side that saves like a second or so. But it's pretty difficult to learn. There are a couple strats that I don't actually use just because I'm more, better with these ones because I know them. Event luck, event luck. I've actually had a lot of event luck, really. That tone slide I did in the beginning, I never ever get that. And I've carried a lot of momentum actually. Oh, and another thing we do is that if there's an edge of a wall, like right there, say if I were to wall run, and I were to jump off of it at the very last second, I would also get a little speed boost.
Pilot, exercise caution.
And then optimal movement, optimal routing, I should say.
Pilot, our paths will intersect just up ahead.
This is one of the few times where I will talk to BT just to save time for a thing later. So BT's right there.
Be a control that would be in violation of Protocol 3.
Never mind.
I need to concentrate for a bit. I'll explain it later.
IMC
Oh no. Oh no. I missed it. I missed it. No! Okay. I might die here. Oh, that sucks. So, what I was trying to do was called sludge skip. Yes! Okay. Thank you. So, this is rusted water, not blood. That's why it's called, well, it's called blood and rust, but this is rusted water.
Hold the mission. Our orders
At least I think so.
Special Operation 217. Rock Base
Hasn't been,
Major Anderson.
well, yeah, when you fall into it, it's like toxic waste with like, it might be blood. Oh no, it might be blood after all. Oh. Meet our first boss of the run, King.
You were not invited to Kane's party, and that's why you're
Rust and blood is fine. So what I was trying to do was something called sludge skip. What sludge skip does is that usually you have to, it's like, you have to stay in that room, and there are waves of enemies that keep on coming, and you have to wait like a couple of minutes. We just skipped all of that by clipping through the wall, by embarking on BT.
Pilot, avoid any pools of thermite that may cause heavy damage.
While he has that flame shield up, we cannot hurt him from the front. And that was a pretty good cane fight. And that's the level. And here we're going to intercept enemy comms.
Kane's helmet radio is still in.
And this will basically allow us to hear all the plans of the enemy, including later bosses, Blitzkenstone. Here's that edge boost I was talking about.
The unseeable must seal the ark. It's time to prepare the Draconis.
Copy. Got myself 3 captured militia. What should I do with them?
Just kill him.
Those cold-blooded killers. Oh no.
Slow down.
I wasn't even thinking about it because I've heard that so many times that it doesn't even faze me. But like, just hearing it the first time, they're just like, oh no, they're such bad guys. Kind of silly. And then we're on to the 4th level, which is actually cut into 3 parts. This is Into the Abyss, so there's Abyss 1, 2, and 3. Abyss, we're actually just traveling through the facility. Number 2 is a special level. It's an auto-scroller, and what I mean by that is that no matter what you do, up until a certain point, even if you got to the, like, one point in the level in like 1 second, by like no clipping or whatever, you couldn't advance forward until the level wants you to. So it's kind of like, you know, an auto scroller where in speedrunning you want to go as fast as possible, but you can't. Gotta say, this does look more fun than at first. I assume the online's still live to a degree, maybe not as much as it could be with Orange, only restriction. The online, depending on the game mode you want to play, it still is very much alive.
Major Anderson.
You might see the same people a little bit. There's also, you know, the competitive community with like pickup games held. What else? The online is, you know, half of this game. And we got our new loadout, Scorch.
Copy over.
There we go.
Kane is not responding. I think our militia pilot's trying to be a hero. He's got to be headed your way. Kill him.
Understood. Ash out.
And that's our next boss, Ash. The Psychomantis of this game, practically. And here you can get a really good scale of just how big these Titans are. Those are just humans. And we just stepped on all of them. Stomp, 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 stomp. You also got specters and such. Just drones, basically. be just a second. I made it soon enough.
Enemy Titan in sight.
Actually, Ash is the one boss we'll skip. So, in the story, she'll be dead, but we never killed her. Very successful room clear. Very successful.
Your skills are greatly improving.
And we got our other loadout. Brute will be very important later on.
Check your HUD for the control panel.
She died from food poisoning after fight. We skipped her. She was skipped by her opponent. Funny you say that. She doesn't need food. Because you will see, she is a, what you call, a simulacrum. Human AI, yeah, right there. Human AI consciousness put into a machine. So what just happened there is that we hit the button to basically move the elevator. And what happens in the story is BC's captured. Oh no. So we have to go save him. When you hit that move elevator button, the death plane that's there to usually prevent you from like moving forward just disappears. And so we can just fall down into the next level trigger. And yeah, we're passing PT, which we're not supposed to do, but we're gonna do anyways.
Pilot. Cooper, if you read me, I'm being taken to this facility substation.
Sorry, BT. And here's everybody's favorite character, Marvin. Some people love him. Some people hate him. A lot of people hate him. Hello.
Ash, I have a Vanguard class Titan. What would you like me to do with it?
I don't bloody care. Destroy it. What about its pilot?
And momentum.
This facility was built to kill.
Whee!
I'm sure I could take advantage of that fact if I had.
Whoa!
That place is not your bloody playground.
Whoops. Momentum is carried a lot,
What about its pilot?
and I kind of slid up the stairs. I did not expect that to happen. I thought I was gonna stop at it,
I can take advantage of that fact if I have to.
because that's what usually what happens to
This
me.
is not your bloody playground. I'm not paying you to be clever.
Yeah, like that. There we
Scuttle
go.
that place if you have to, eh? Let's go.
So this is a factory where they produce
I'm being taken down to
simulation pods, basically. Not like the ones we were in.
I recommend you
Uh,
follow the flow of the platform.
Spitfire. That's one. The first one you go too fast, basically.
Pilot, this facility is extremely dangerous.
And here we're going to do.
Hazards on the assembly
I forget the name of it actually, but we're just gonna run on the outside of the level. Told Spice. That's what it's called. Told Spice. And normally we're supposed to run through all of that, run on the platforms and such. Nah. There we go. Very dark. And we're almost there. Okay, that was successful. Great. Sometimes it's very easy to die there if you don't know what you're doing, and even if you do know, sometimes you know, the geometry is kind of weird. It's dark. You can't see. Like a lot of the geometry is practically invisible. And this is why it was a auto scroller. We can't do anything. We can't advance the level as much as we want. So let's see. Let's see. We have to wait for the built platforms to get over here. What you doing over here? I gotta wait for that thing. Okay, there we go. And then we're gonna climb on top. Nope, climb on top, thank you. And now we wait because basically, you'll see in like very few moments here, they're building what looks to be like housing and whatever on this giant like factory conveyor belt thing.
Pilot, are you all right?
My luck, this place is gonna turn itself inside.
We don't have to talk to him there, but
Upside down,
might as well.
considering the circumstances.
Giant factory. And recently, the community has found a faster way called Bishop or whatever. And building something this large must have taken decades. But yeah, this is the future after all. So they had Titans do all the work, and like Spectres and stuff. A lot of people do a newfound strat that lets you clear a couple seconds off of this. I'm gonna use an ult strat because it's what whoa. There we go. It's because it's what I know and I'm comfortable with it. So now we just climb this wall. And like with such ship, we were supposed to fight waves and waves of enemies. We're just going to clip through something to advance the level.
The dome is still waiting. Rest assured, I will not execute you, Samara.
There we go.
You have my word. Impressive, pilot. You made it all this way alive. Unfortunately for you, there is only one way out. Step off the moving platform. Well done, pilot. I will take it from here.
This is all to build a battle simulation. Look at that. So yeah, usually when they build, when Ash completes building this, she'll send waves of enemies to come after you. We're just gonna exit the level. And this is one of the first out of bounds glitches that we'll have. How's that for a speedrun? What a view. Yeah. Just see the level and the clipping textures and models and stuff. Alright, I'll have to get there before the dome closes. Alright, I'm here. Cause if you're not in this exact spot when the screen goes dark, you'll get stuck and you soft lock the game.
In Dynamic Simulation Dome 314.
Pew. Oh, this is a year ago retro.
We shall see how impressive you
Was that really a year ago? Dang, I haven't ran this game in a while. Yeah. Was it really a year ago? Dang. I just used tree hop. Alright, so that's Abyss 2. Now we are on Abyss 3. Oh, and by the way, I picked up this gun for a specific reason. In a later level, it will come in handy a lot.
while I work.
Not when your work's done.
Point taken. Ash out.
Don't worry.
Restart
The price I'm putting on his head.
Huh.
You can buy all the toys you want.
Well, I'm just gonna wait for this. Usually what happens, this is like nearly the intended route, but what's normally supposed to happen is that
This is Ash.
we hop into that cylinder while it's about to, before it's about to move, and it'll just whip us around and let us go on that side and save a couple of seconds.
suggest we leave. You are not far from my location. Marking your HUD.
It's been a while. I am not up to date. What? What? It didn't let me wall run. Oh boy. Ash got nerd. I'm gonna try not to.
I suggest you embark, pilot.
So just like we escaped the dome, we're going to clip through walls again.
Pilot, I detect an exit beyond this dome. Check your HUD.
There is an exit beyond this dome. And then we just continue forward, and everything's falling apart, a bunch of explosions. And there are a bunch of dogs here, like the one that we met in BT 7274. They can stop a Titan dead in its tracks. You can't stomp on them. Alright, we did it. They won't let me move. Okay. Hey, I didn't mess it up. Yeah. So basically, that dome right now. No. That entire dome is the boss fight trigger for Ash. And if you fall into it, you trigger her, and you have to go back out and fight her. What? Ah! Felt it. That's a new death message. Oh, what? Okay, so I got the skipping part. I didn't manage to get the jump successfully, but we're gonna try it again. There we go.
Transferring controls to pilot.
I usually get that part. Don't know why I didn't get it this time. We need 2 dashes for that part. One to actually boost.
Let's just put a high price on your head, pilot. Dead or alive. That makes you worth something to me.
I'm just gonna reload from next checkpoint. I shall just do a duel. Boulder, I did it once, alright? I did it once perfect. I was like, okay, I still got it. That's gonna be. This is some major setbacks. We're just gonna fight her. Let's do it. Switch. Bring it on, Ash.
Let's just put a high price on your head, pilot. Dead or alive. That makes you worth something to me.
Told you. I practiced and I got it first try last time. That was a very optimal Ash fight.
Security lockdown disengaged. Surface access is authorized.
Pilot, the security lockdown has been disengaged. I recommend we leave through the tunnel.
Cause that was actually really good. Yeah, so Ash skip was implemented to save time overall. The most optimal Ash fight, probably one of them you just saw there, was super quick, which is faster than Ash skip. But Ash is RNG and so is her movement. So sometimes you can get really bad luck and she just travels all over the place and it takes a while. So it was supposed to like find a good middle ground for Ash skip. Now we're out of the abyss until if I can cause. Let's make up for the skip. Yeah, you're right.
I will meet you on the other side.
You're gonna see here. If giant mechs weren't futuristic enough. Something wonk is going on.
What just happened?
There are distortions throughout this facility.
Hello. Yeah, we're time traveling now.
There are distortions throughout this facility, and they appear to be causing a rift in time.
I didn't know we were playing Singularity. That guy we were supposed to meet up, That's him. He did. A lot of people die in this game, actually. And not just because it's a first-person shooter, like story-related characters.
Pilot, bring me his helmet. I will analyze it.
There we go. What?
With the death of Anderson, command of Special Operation 217 now transfers to you.
Yay.
Congratulations on your field promotion, Pilot Cooper. The following is Anderson's mission briefing from Commander...
More unskippable cutscenes.
SRS.
Major Anderson.
Scaring
2
adopter.
weeks ago, we intercepted IMC comms.
You're right. You're right.
Found something on Titanfall. A massive blast of energy was discharged at this location, creating time distortions. I want SRS.
Look at the pretty birdies.
Roger that.
They don't really explain why dinosaurs came back. Well, this is like on a planet light years away. So maybe that's why. This ain't Earth.
So watch your back. And Anderson, you know how much I love writing death reports, so don't go alone.
He went alone.
SRS is a team.
He went alone.
Pilot, the data Major Anderson collected appears to be incomplete. We are duty bound
Who's
to
DQ?
uphold and fulfill Special Operation 217. Recommend we locate Anderson's wrist-mounted device before proceeding.
What are we supposed to do?
Our mission has been updated.
Quartz is in the segmented one?
Breach of the Security
Really?
Services building. I will provide access.
Thank you, BT.
I will remain here and scan the ring structure while you investigate the facility for intel and the missing device.
4. That's so cool. All right. Let's see. Faster? Nah, I'll keep Eva.
Automated security.
Hello. Goodbye. Time for Titan Olympics. That would be such a cool thing, honestly. Pilots and Titans competing in like Olympics, that'd be so cool. There's another new tech here where basically when you travel back through time, you hit yourself with the laser grid, and it boosts you through the hallway super fast. And that's one of the easiest soft locks you can have in this game. Told you, I knew it. Ah, Boulder. I tried, okay? I tried. And that is ENC 1. And now, that little glowy thing on Anderson's wrist does something really, really cool. And a lot of people think this is like an act, that press I have to pay respects.
Sorry.
There's this command prompt. Press mouse forward to time travel.
Pilot Cooper, I have transferred some of my AI functions into your helmet in order to permit communication across time shifts.
A little, yeah.
Get the rest of the egg engine.
And then we time travel again. Time travel again. A lot of time traveling. Whee! And then
Anderson's damaged log may be relevant.
fire stars.
Activating log playback.
The IMC found something, all right. It can fold space and time. They sure as hell didn't build it, but they're restoring it. Whatever they're planning, it's potentially catastrophic.
Ooh. Guess might have to get game ideas from somewhere. Yeah.
We don't test the arch.
But hey, Everybody likes time travel.
For now, we may never have another chance. Zulu 6, prep the Ark for delivery.
Oop. This always reminds me of just being a giant tick.
Weapons power source is called AR.
Hi.
Doesn't look like they perfected the casing. This one's empty. The Ark must be somewhere else.
And then turrets. We'll just skip over them. Oh.
Spin up the outer ring. Test sequence will commence once the Ark is in place.
Time traveling platforming. The first time you play this, or first time you see it, it's so cool. And normally you're supposed to spawn a bridge out here, but I'm just gonna skip over it. You can full run. Debris turns into lasers. Lasers turns into debris. Fall down a hole.
Pilot, the rings at my
First try.
location contain a large amount of residual energy. This was the Ark's final destination. Anderson's plan indicated a recon mission within close proximity to the center of the active rings. That was Major Anderson's final recording.
Just kind of skip through all of that. Phase through a Spectre. Nothing big. Which the perfect time is predicted to be around 120. Set up a world record for this category, and most is held by a world record for any percent is a 122.44. Yeah.
I recommend you meet me at the rings in order to scan the Ark's energy signature.
Now we're gonna fight through time.
Pilot, I've located the controls to extend the bridge to the rings. I've marked it on your HUD.
And there's a thing you can do here. I'm not gonna do it. It's a neat little visual glitch.
She took in the past has caused the remaining automated security systems to be quite hostile towards us at present.
Oh. Oh. I'm like one of the guys that catches IDGQ. One of the coolest shots in this game.
See?
First time playing it through this, I took my time to walk through here and see everything. It was so cool. Put a lot of detail into this. And that was the third chapter of this game. Not the game, the level. And we're back in the present.
Well done, pilot. Scan complete. As Anderson discovered, the IMC intend to destroy the militia planet of Harmony using the full-scale version of this weapon. Pilot Cooper, our journey is far from over. We must get this data to the fleet.
And that was infecting cause. And that's the only time you'll time travel in this game, and it's upsetting. Now we're going on to one of the levels I despise most. The beacon. So as BT just said, we have to transmit all of this data and relay it back to HQ. Doing that, we need to send it through space, which takes a really big satellite.
But we can complete his
But as you guessed it, the satellite's broken.
The interstellar beacon ahead will serve our needs.
And that's why we need that gun, this gun earlier. Oh.
Pilot, I see the beacon up ahead. Scans detect minimal power functionality. It may need repairs.
Turns out it does.
Caution, I'm picking up multiple contacts.
Since we put the game on easy, this doesn't kill us right away.
Hostiles confirmed. The stalkers appear to be programmed to attack the control room. Caution. I detect traces of poisonous chemicals within the fog.
There we go. By doing that,
Pilot, I'm detecting militia
walking over to
forces inside
BT.
that control room. They are signaling distress. Patching in.
Hey, you out there, pilot! Are you reading us? We can use some help over here. This is Captain Cole for the 3rd Militia.
I didn't get it, but killing them early and then walking back to BT before he gets over
I
here
recommend we eliminate these stalkers.
gives you a dialogue skip, which is one of the few ones that you get in this
victory
game.
has raised our combat efficiency rating. BT-7274
Those are 5 stars.
militia forces.
Eh,
All
I
threats
didn't
have
use
been
them
eliminated.
because usually I'm able to get them with only using the Spitfire.
Those stalkers just kept on coming. We may not have lasted much longer. We're opening the blast doors. Come on in. Pilot and Tiger on the lift. McCord, bring
And
them
here's
up.
Cole. Now we wait.
Of the beacon.
The power is shut down. We've lost all control of the beacon. We need something like this to jumpstart the system. This one's destroyed.
Designation. Arc tool. Function. Generates power up to 5 megajoules.
Yeah, we know what it is.
Can you repair it?
We already tried. Sensors indicate another one at the substation, but it's nearly impossible to get down there. This place just ain't built for humans.
Understood. Pilot Cooper, I advise caution while navigating this facility's substation. You must recover the arc.
He's not gonna touch this thing, but the door's gonna open anyways.
Good luck, sir.
Good luck, pilot.
You make it back.
Beacon 1 is done. Now, Beacon 2 is a very contested IL level because it's very. You just want to look busy. Yeah. So what happens with this one is quick and easy, very short. So much so that people have like nearly perfected this level in particular. One of the hardest levels in this game. For ILs, definitely. If you want perfection for like 4-minute time, I believe, or whatever. I can't remember how the time for the IL is, but people go hard at this level. There we go. You have to kill certain enemies in that room, a certain number of enemies before the door unlocks. I thought it was 210 for the IL for this level. I mean, and you oh, and we fly. All right. Thank you.
Do not be afraid. Your jump kit can take that fall. Bypass successful. The fan exhaust is offline. Arc tool detected at 30 meters.
No! I tried to use decep route.
Well done, pilot. You have acquired the arc tool. Return to the control room. We are ready to jumpstart the system.
This thing lets us do the other things. Open doors. Fly. And then later levels, it will just let us activate enemies, activate doors and such. It's 209. Oh, I must have gotten that recently. And here's everybody's favorite skip, heatsink skip. Let's hope I get it. I totally didn't get it. I accidentally double jumped to the left. I think you do it about twice before it's inefficient. Darn. Doing so fairly recently. Yeah, then I would have never known. You should get food. Food's pretty good. Food's a pretty good thing. Don't remind me of food. Boulder, go buy food. Let's see. Jump over here. And as you can see, if we would have made that skip successfully, we wouldn't have needed to have gone through that room. Super speed! And we carry that speed instead of losing it with them wall hops. And you got to see this from the beginning. You just make a big loop. You didn't even see my moves, dude. Back in your day, there was food everywhere. Maybe though it really was. I mean, yeah. Rip Tron today's. Yeah, there's a shot there that you can do called like Tron slide or whatever, where if you not double jumping, just regular jumping at a certain pace of intervals, you're able to carry your momentum up the stairs, and so you basically just flew up the stairs instead of just having to run on the side. Also, that guy that was over there that didn't touch the keypad moved over here, and guess what? He needs to open the door. He's not gonna touch the keypad.
Cooper, let's hope that arc tool was worth all the trouble.
What? He still doesn't touch it.
High radiation levels detected ahead. Your suit will only protect you for a limited time.
It keeps him out of the fighting.
I suggest you
I wouldn't stay in there too long unless you want to be burnt to a crisp. Okay, opening the hatch in 3, 2, 1, go!
They say, get out of there before you die. You can't die in here.
power at 100%. I recommend you exit the chamber immediately.
Yeah, super fastball. Oof. Alright, so upcoming strat is I'm going to do so. Watch my jump height. I jump and fall like there's gravity. I'm going to be doing a glitch called Moon Boots. What Moon Boots does is that it changes our gravity, so we're basically like on the moon. With that, there is a moment in the story where BT performs a fastball on you, meaning he throws you across a giant gap to get to the next part of the level. What we're gonna do is combine that fastball with Moon Boots and create Super Fastball. Super Fastball will allow me to launch, and if you're really good at it, skip an entire section of the level in just a couple of seconds instead of, you know, a couple of minutes. With me, I'm not that prepared for it, so I'm only going to be doing like a half super fastball essentially, where I'm going to be able to go halfway across of it. 20% or so. I'm curious, what's the gravity difference between Earth and the Moon? Because if it's 15% like Moon Boots, then that'd be really funny. First, we're gonna grab the Ronin kit.
Indicate a fallen pilot. My memory recalls this pilot.
And we're gonna switch to Brute, which you picked up in Abyss. And do we have Moon Boots? We do. First try. Whee! And now we're not weightless, but very late.
My scans detect a functioning uplink targeting module, 428 meters northeast. My analysis indicates that the robots are only up here. I can throw you across.
So yeah, it is like moon boots.
Wind 3 knots, heading 274. Range 95 meters. Projectile mass 89 kilograms.
Crouch, shift, space.
Trust me.
Super fastball. Whee!
IMC dropships headed to your location.
Richter, please.
Usually I'll tell you when, but you're able to continue that super fastball and do a bunch of like wall kicks and carry your momentum all the way to over here and just launch yourself over to this part. Plus RNG. We got it, dude. We got it.
Get to the beacon now.
Also, the next boss is Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm like, I wish I was joking, but it basically is.
Come in, Kilo 1-4. Copy that. Zulu 1, Kilo 1. Move it. Alpha 2, get soldiers on ground. Move it.
Monka S, yeah.
Targeting module detected.
And here,
Check your HUD.
All units, Kilo 1-4 is not responding.
Graph boost.
Prepare to engage the target at Beacon 4.
Zulu 1-6, Beacon 4 gantry team is KIA. Pilot may be attempting to transmit.
We got it.
Copy that. In position at Beacon 4 gantry. Standing by to intercept.
Pilot, the module is in the projector of that dish.
That made me hungry. Yeah. So that graph star boost, everybody. So there's not an exact science to it. Everybody has their own strats to perform it. Mine is very unique to me. I made it. A lot of people use one that's recorded in a tutorial, or the one that the world record holder uses. But whatever works, you know.
Anti-Titan squads have arrived, requesting assistance.
Jump. And then there's also a new strat over here called Zipless, where you basically pull a graph star. When you're coming off of the beacon, you pull another graph star and boost yourself across that entire section with the walls coming in. And you get to skip that zip line, which is why it's called Zipless, and saves a very decent amount of time. And we're going to let BT be because there's still some people there. Because there's an optimal timing where, because we had to climb this entire tower, well, we're supposed to with another fastball, but we're gonna skip all of that by climbing this little edge. And so, if you time it just right, depending on how well BT does, you will be able to get to the top of this right as the thing drops down, and there's no downtime. But you also need to clear everything out before BT advances.
All threats eliminated.
And the weapon that we're trying to stop, that we're trying to relay our comms to, that's that. Blasted a giant hole in that moon. Also, I just realized, it looks impressive like this, and then you zoom in, and you realize it's just a texture. Break the immersion.
Protocol 2 mission update. Replace the uplink module. The socket for the module is at the top of this dish. A throw combined with additional climbing.
The giant PNG, essentially. Just in the skybox, just... Whoa. We're gonna fall through the satellite dish. We're gonna die!
Got you.
But before we do that, we gotta fight a boss.
Richter, please. Yeah, I'm already on my way.
Had to calculate finger structure. Just like
Intercept and destroy the
move left,
then
like
execute the remaining
left hand, index finger, 20%.
Militia forces locked down in Google. Threats detected.
Copy that. Locking down.
The tone. Hey, that's pretty good.
Caution. Anomaly
That'd rip
detected.
your whole arm off.
Possible hostile
10 out of 0 out of 10 game isn't realistic enough.
I'm looking for someone to promote. I'm also looking for
And that right there, by looking where we, by looking in a certain direction, we can force these enemies to spawn where we want them to.
not let him leave here alive. You all deserve to die.
And thankfully, I made this guy in the multiplayer, so I'm really good at him. And we're gonna switch to Scorch. Hi, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Care to have a real fight? Let's see what you got up close and personal. Oder willst du weglaufen wie ein kleiner Junge?
I think he says like, or do you want to run away like a little boy at that point right there.
Let's begin.
I didn't do any damage to him? Did he just do it? Did he just break dance? Terrain, yeah. But I swear he just did like
Tighten down.
a breakdance move that what? Richter does some weird funky stuff. And that was Beacon 3.
Yes, sir. Transmission sequence activated.
He knew the end was nigh. And his final wish was to break dance.
60%. Good.
Also, like, half these guys were like just copying in somebody else.
Signal strength at maximum power. We are on go for transmission.
Broadcasting data stream. Awaiting response.
I like how they all have names. Jenkins! I like how he's a lieutenant too. Phoenix, right?
Commander Briggs.
Torres,
this is BT
Kamada,
7274.
Jones,
Protocol.
Gonzalez,
Uphold the
Hughes,
Report
Hall,
to the
Sullivan,
Dash to the
Sokolov,
SOS unit.
Weber, Hernandez, Lieutenant Leroy, McCorn, Cole. Oh, goodbye. And here we meet the. So in the first game, she was just like an assistant secretary person, basically. But now she's a big old commander of the SRS.
Correct. Captain Ty Lastimosa was killed in
Come here, let's go to breakdown and get me a happy meal.
to an acting pilot, Rifleman Jack Cooper.
Wait a minute. Lastimosa linked you to a rifleman?
Yes, he had
And no other options.
Understood. We'll get you transferred to a fully qualified pilot.
Objection. Cooper is my pilot. Our combat effectiveness rating now exceeds 90%.
90%, guys.
Permission to retain this link.
You're lucky our backs are up against the wall, BT. Permission granted. That's high praise coming from a machine, Cooper.
Yeah, because we're total
With
badasses.
scan data of the Ark, we've tracked its energy signature to an IMC base right here on Titan. We don't have much time. Let's go.
And there's Beacon. And then here we're going to, I think it's Trial by Fire? BT knows your exploits. Trial by Fire. So, this is basically storming the Normandy beaches. Literally the in production name for this level was T-Day.
Listen up. The IMC have developed a fold weapon. It has the power to destroy entire worlds, but without its power source, the Ark, it is inoperable. Your mission is to capture the Ark before it can leave the airbase. Marauder Corps, weapons hot. Stand by for Titanfall.
She does a thumbs up too. Damn. I'm gonna switch to Ronin. So yeah. You may be wondering what I'm doing. This is suicide. We kind of just phased through the wall. Switch to Scorch. And switch to Tone. Batteries are very important because while we are on easy, there are a lot of Titans, and they could, all of them could kill us at any moment. Now, all we're waiting for is Sarah to say a certain line of dialogue that will notify us that we can progress further into the level. She will say, like, pilot, you're with me. So for now, we just gotta kill people. If you want to say that line anytime soon, Sarah, we can do that. Because it's like, Sarah's pretty RNG heavy. Sarah? Thank you. And switch to Scorch again. There we go. What? Okay. She's satisfied with what she says she is. It's basically how Sarah works. You'll see later on that Sarah really does not like to move sometimes. So if you'll see at like the edge of the screens, there are like grunts sometimes that are over here. She will try to kill every single last one of them. She will literally try to kill all the small guys. This game feels like crashing today. Whoa. Okay, I'm sorry about that, guys. I apologize. Tone.
Now we're talking.
Tone in the multiplayer, at least, is said to be one of the most OP Titans, and for good reason. He's dead. Now, I want to see if I can do a little time save. Brute has the hover jets, and if we can hover faster than the elevator, we'll save like a second or so. But I saved my core for a very special reason.
Well, you're doing a good job, Cooper. As far as I'm concerned,
Cores are basically like super abilities in like Overwatch or something. Didn't get it. Ronin's a lot of dashing. He pulls out his sword, and you can slash, but we like the dashing part. North Star. Yeah, North Star is the... These are fists. Every other Titan in the game uses their fist to melee. Ronin's the only one that uses a sword. See?
nice shooting. Keep moving. We're closing on the Draconis. Keep going.
And Ronin also has something called... This Reaper, man. has his phase dash, which basically phasing in this game lets you slip into an alternate reality and basically pass through enemies and not take damage. Like that. Why are you punching me?
All systems go. They're taking off. We need to get to that ship. Don't let them get away. Get to that ramp.
Too late.
Bliss, this is Sloan. The Ark is headed your way. I'll let Viper take you from here. See you soon.
Sword goes with Ronin. Northstar uses her fist, but Northstar is mainly a sniper. We're on Ronin right now.
Get to a ship. We're going after him.
And here's everybody's favorite level, not really, cause we all hate it. It's the Ark. The Ark is a unique level in which it takes place in the air. It's like basically all these ships are, so like that ship that I just took off on, yeah, we're chasing after it because we're not giving up that easily. So the second boss, so the final boss, the one that's coming up right now, is honestly my favorite character in the entire game. You'll see in a bit why, but he's basically the Titan I always wanted, because like, who doesn't want a Titan in real life, right? Like, what if you took the Titan and made it cooler? You basically get Viper. I don't want to see. So there's a little funny thing that you can do. Where is it? There it is.
We have to catch the Draconis.
I got an unidentified boat at 11 o'clock.
What the hell is that? Anyone got a clear visual?
Everyone go be quiet.
Darn. It's Viper. Heavily modified North Star Titan that can fly in the air for like ever. Also BT waves you. Hello.
I got you, kid.
This guy returns from game 1. Up here is Barker's skip.
Barker, nice of you to show up.
You're welcome.
The most RNG heavy skip out of this entire run.
Cooper, I need a pilot on board the Malta to secure the deck now.
Commander Briggs, this is Blackbird 6-4. We can get him there. BT, we need a fastball.
Copy that. 6.
And we made it first try! Yes!
Cooper, listen up. We can't take
Whew.
you directly to the bridge.
All right.
We're already past those guns. We'll drop you off at the stern and you'll have to work your way forward.
Contact left.
Cooper, I'm gonna get as close as
That is a very, very difficult skip.
now. Go. Nice jump. Chopping you from out here, Coop.
Basically what happens there is that never once has those guys ever... Those guys have never killed me before. That's a first.
Nice jump. Chopping you from out
I
here.
guess just save that my invisibility cloak for later then. No, you're not. But that skip right there, the ship that I jumped on, the 6-4, changes its movement every single time. So you could get lucky, you could not. And in order to give yourself the boost you need to jump over to the next one, you use the nade. And then nade timing is very particular. You don't want to go too early, because then either you kill yourself or you don't even go at all. You don't want it too late, or else you don't get the boost. You just want it just right.
still anti-air cannons active on the deck of the Malta. They must be disabled
Where's
from the
the
bridge before we can approach.
Where's the master? There's the master. Bunch of baby titans. How cute.
Good covering fire.
We got your back. Commander Bridge will also need your help.
There is a small time save here, but I'm going to play it safe. Basically, we jump on top of that ship before it comes up all the way, and we jump into the next area of the game.
Oh no, wait a second.
Follow me.
Woo!
It's never boring.
Move your ass, Davis.
Invisible. Just clear out the room. Now we're gonna go up here because there are some enemies up here and they'll block everybody else's path. Because we gotta wait for the AI to come up with us. And they only start coming up once everybody is dead.
The room's clear.
There we go.
That's the bridge up there.
Follow me.
And Gates is always the last one for some reason. Because she's gotta do fancy tricks.
Hold your fire. It's bulletproof. We're gonna breach the glass. Take your marks.
Guy by the stairs.
You don't need to kill anybody in here.
Go on the mezzanine.
Shake charges are ready.
Hey, Coop, watch out the 6-4 does it.
Pilot Cooper, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Breach, breach, breach.
All we need to do is go up here. Funny story for about this upcoming area.
6-4, on me. Cooper, get to the captain's console and disable the guns. Commander Bridge, Malta is ours.
Copy that, 6-4. Cooper, you still have control of the bridge. Use your data knife to steer yourself right behind the Draconis. Barker, get BT back to Cooper.
You got it. On my way. Hold on, Tin Man.
All call signs. Clean up hostiles and rendezvous.
Come on. There we go.
This is it.
Use your Titan, Cooper. Just done babysitting.
We step over to here because the world record holder had a pretty good run ruined by something called Ghost Ship.
Ready to transfer control to pilot.
Now,
Cooper,
one thing, if you stand too close to beat T before it doesn't punch the glass out, the game will crash. It'll think you're trying to do the fastball that we were at a couple minutes ago. But Ghost Ship, a random enemy ship glitched through the other ship and ran into him and killed him. And since then, we all stepped to the side.
Salvo core ready. One, detecting hull. 50 Titan down.
Has that ever happened again? As far as I know, I think it only happened once ever again. And it wasn't even on a good run. But it's possible that it never happened again. But just to be sure, we all stand back.
Fire. 090 over 20 is
Expedition.
getting a little hot in here. Viper 1 lost control. I'm losing control. Going down. Mayday, mayday, going down.
But,
This is
you know,
BT-17.
it's better safe than sorry. Because I was in that chat and stream when that happened.
Secure the arc. We'll prep
We were all just in complete shock of what just happened. And it was like, what?
For wind resistance. Calculating.
He's not dead! About getting your arm ripped off. Yeah. BT just lost an arm.
I've lost the hatch. Need cover, need cover.
Aim for the cockpit.
Thank you. Usually that's the reason why I pick up the Mastiff, because the shotgun's pretty good at getting him down. For some reason he didn't with that entire clip.
The ship is rapidly losing altitude. It is up to us, Cooper. Down here.
Whee! Another thing. The world record holder also had the game crash on him when he came down here for some reason. As far as I know, that never happened again as well. That's a lot of crashes and weird stuff happen.
The containment unit is too large to carry. We must improvise. I cannot reach the Ark. Cooper, I need your help.
Hold W! So being the world record gives you bad juju. Good to know. Essentially. We just chalk it up to him being too fast.
Quickly, we need to get off the ship. We are running out of time.
What other stuff has the world record holder gotten into?
This way.
Oh yeah, the dialogue skip I tried in Beacon 1 crashed a lot during there. Yeah. And here's another time where dialogue options are actually quicker.
Get the Ark out of here!
Negative. You're trapped.
What are you doing?
Protocol 3. I will not lose another pilot. Brace for impact.
Here we are. The final mission. The fold weapon. BT's captured. He's lost his legs and his arm. And we're arrested at gunpoint. This is not a good situation. So with this final level, we get the final boss, and we also have a very heartbreaking moment. Actually, two. Well, there's two, but the first one gets outdone by the second one, but it all makes sense.
Blisk, your problems are not my concern. Once you have delivered the Ark as per your contract, your payment will be transferred by the IMC.
Just have my money ready. I'll get you your precious cargo.
Promising loading card, yeah.
Oi, Titan. You're gonna open up and give me what I want.
Voice command. Not recognized.
Let me just rip it out of him.
Can't risk it. The Ark's unstable.
Listen, hero. You have what's mine, and I want it back. Go on. Tell your Titan to open up.
BT.
Open wrong one.
When this guy's dead.
Usually, you want to press X and say about what his feelings, because that's like half a second, quarter of a second faster.
So tell your Titan, if he doesn't open up, I will shoot you in the head.
Pilot in jeopardy. Ocular systems. Marginal. Cannot visually acquire pilot.
Stand him up. You see him now? Right here, right here. Yeah? You see him now?
Functions compromised by severe crash damage.
I don't care how broken you are. I know deep down, some things still work in there. Now open up. I'm going to shoot your pilot in the head. You still remember numbers, don't you? I'm going to count to 3. 1.
BT 7274. Cooper, trust me. Trusting BT is a very common theme.
Nah, that wasn't so hard, was it?
That's the problem with teams. If you don't win together, you die together.
Let's just drops into the floor, moves off screen. Yeah, so to save time, when we start getting control of Cooper back up again, we kind of just walk into fire. We don't really know why, but walking into fire and nearly dying helps us move the dialogue faster. BT is dead. Almost. Fire.
Over here.
BT used Buddha.
I can no longer uphold the mission. But you still can. Take this secret. It is your best chance for survival.
And here, you'll see one of the most infuriating guns in multiplayer, both from Titanfall 1 and 2. The Smart Pistol. The Smart Pistol is an auto-targeting pistol that will shoot any enemies it locks onto. Yeah. Smart Pistol. But just like in BC 7274, even if our jump kit isn't functioning properly just yet, we can still slide hop.
All call signs fire at will. Captain, do you have a fix on that signal?
I've got something, but it's faint. Cannot confirm. Commander Briggs, I'm picking up a data core, but it's a weak signal.
Are you sure you have the
Also, if you die right there, you soft lock the game.
Commander Briggs, I have a lock on Cooper's position. He's pulled BT's data core. He must have the sphere kit.
Cooper, this is Commander.
The world record holder was on world record pace and died right there.
One click north of your position. We've only got one shot to turn this fight around, and you're it. Our fleet's moving in on the fold weapon.
Reading chat. Getting
We're coming. It's not over yet.
freaking distracted.
You're headed in the right direction. Just keep moving. The anti-air defenses are extremely heavy around the fold weapon. We're having trouble getting boots on the ground, and we're running out of options.
What's with this world record holder?
We have one
Bad luck, man. Bad luck.
I'm pulling its data core and preparing it for Titanfall.
Bad luck and dumb mistakes.
Cooper, your Titan's standing by. Call it when ready. Stand by for Titanfall.
FS 1041. How does ridiculous that? This game right now about as ridiculous smart pistol? Yeah. New year, new me.
Hello, Jack.
Woo.
Transferring controls to pilot.
We still want home.
Everything I've got at the IMC, but it's not going to be enough to stop the fold weapon. I need you to get inside its control room. Commander Briggs to all battle stations. I want close fire support on Cooper and BT. Do whatever it takes to cover them.
Solid copy. We'll go.
Alright, everyone switch to Ronin.
Get up that hill. We'll cover you.
And then... Can you move, please? Thank you.
Don't let up.
Going somewhere, pilot. Not viable.
The Stockton just went dark. Give me its sit rep. Now.
Actual sleep for more than 30 minutes was so nice. Holy shit. Nice. Well, good morning.
Are we late to the party? You're just in time, Gates. How much juice do you have left in the Malta?
And, there's a door here. As you expected.
We're tracking Blisk and Sloan just ahead. They have the
okay.
arc. Keep moving.
We must stop the IMC from using the Fold weapon at all costs. If we fail, the militia planet of Harmony will be destroyed.
Okay, so usually what's supposed to happen is that we can just jump through the door. It's open now.
The militia planet of Harmony
Okay.
destroyed.
This is a funky run, I'm gonna tell you that.
Attention IMC personnel. This is General Lardo. The mercenaries have delivered the arm. That's the fold weapon.
Initiating preliminary fold weapon power systems. Powering up targeting responders.
Set location to the militia planet Harmony.
Initiating targeting systems. Harmony.
Alright, didn't crash. There's a small chance that BT might get stuck somewhere and will soft lock or crash the game. Just right here. World Record Runner has done that a lot. Mostly just because either he's going too fast or just bad luck, as usual.
You know what I think when I look
Tone.
part of easy money. Spooling up stage 1. What a snake pilot. This is more
Or don't choke. I'm good. We're going to save our core for a little bit later. Just a little. And your batteries.
Sorry, mate. Time to die. Tough little bugger, ain't ya?
There we go. And we switch to tone again.
Let's see how you handle some research.
F2 or 3 piloted Titans don't kill me. Why would Reapers get me? Is a question I always ask. That's just plain silly. And we switch to Scorch. There we go.
Get the arc out there before it launches.
Hurry! Wasn't in the budget, okay? Well, I mean, they did just get paid. So maybe let's just take the money up, man.
Attempting to restore ocular systems. Ocular killer systems restored.
War is not cheap. E. E.
Hostile. Titan detected.
Oh no.
It's your lucky day, hero. I'm not going to kill you. I don't work for free. But you don't get to kill me either. Yeah, you earned this.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That Vanguard class Titan is still in there.
Not my problem, Marta. Should have put it in my contract. I've got other people with money to see.
What are you doing? What do you think you are doing?
He just disappears off screen. W! You got a card? Invitation to join the Apex Predators, his mercenary group.
I require your assistance. My auto navigation systems are offline. Get me into that injector assembly. We must do this together.
Do you guys remember the protocols? Protocol 1, link to pilot.
Our ground teams can't make it there in time. You've got to find a way to destroy the fold weapon from the inside. There's no other way.
Hold W! Hold W! Protocol 2, uphold the mission.
What are you saying?
Can blow it up.
I'm sending you coordinates for a dropship rendezvous.
But do you guys remember Protocol 3?
Trust me, I have done the math.
I sure as hell hope so. We're on our way. Good luck, both of you. Briggs out.
We got a way out of this one, BT?
Calculating. Protocol 3. Protect the pilot.
BT, what are you doing?
Trust me.
BT!
Cooper, we just lost BT signal. We're almost there. Cooper, I'm marking your HUD with the coordinates.
And here's probably one of the coolest runaway sections.
If I'm flying through this shit show, you better be there on time, kid.
Move, pilot! I'm tracking you. Keep going. That's it. You're almost there. Move, move!
3, 2,
Cooper, jump forward.
1. Time. 1:40:34. All right. And that is the speedrun of Titanfall 2, made by Respawn Entertainment.
Get us out of here.
Nice one. Thank you very much. Let's just, go scroll past these credits here. We did that. Hey, that's pretty good. But yeah, that's the entire run. Thank you, Cyanide, for it goes that planet too. Yeah.
And to BT.
Yeah, that's pretty much gone.
Barker.
Thank you so much to Cyanide for building this entire thing. You've done a fantastic job with all of this. You're awesome, dude. Thank you to Solaris Japan for sponsoring this event. Use the code down in the
Destruction of Titanfall saved the planet Harmony.
and the credit description below to save 500 yen off of any purchase.
Millions of others.
And
Commander
the
Briggs
next
sits
runner,
on
I
the
believe,
garage
Muthing,
with a
is he ready?
After the tech swipe what's left of my neural link with BT.
Is he
That'll
here?
feel like.
Oh, I gotta pause the game real quick, just little
To
quick.
get assigned a new Titan. I kind of like the old one.
Does not look like he's ready yet.
Signing off.
All right, he's ready. He's ready. Oh. All right, but thank you once again, everybody who came out here. I know it's pretty early or even really late for some people. Thank you so much, everybody, for supporting this event. St. Jude going to a great cause. And I do believe that we are about to switch off. So, again, I'm RetroZX0, and I hope to see you guys soon. Woo. But we're good. Switching off.